criticize, I analyze, I am the eyes. Yeah, they stand in lie, I stand in truth. That's my I am alive, I am alive, I am alive. I channel God, the frequency lives inside. Delinquencies leap aside, just look inside. I promise you'll find bodies the synagogue. You lie to self, then you sin to God. I take the end of lines, put it in a loop, then I tie a knot. This eternal life, this is Heka'u. We can never die, we are immortalized. They live mortal lives. I am more than man, I have God inside. Whoa. Opened the door and then I got inside. Found my inner child, gave him a hug, told him I love him, we gon' be alright. And then I gave a smile, you made me more than proud. Shed some tears, let us scream aloud, a stand in pride. Grabbed his hand, it was the hand of God, our fingers five. Double time, we put hands to sky. Raise them high, raise them high. This is dua. Praise himself, praise each other, praise to health, that is the root to wealth. Praise comes from per, and it means to sell. See, that's what preachers do, buying souls, selling hell. Disguised as heaven, pushing P. Differences between prophet and prophecy. The Bible is a prop to see the lies of man, portraying God open-eyed to see. Telling tales of wanderings, I've been wondering, they don't know that we're the real wonders. Miracles, when I speak it thunders, literal. You feel it under your flesh when your organs start to rumble. Heartbeat, you're listening to vibrations as my heart speaks. Stretch minds, I have far reach. Raj General, this is our me. This is pinnacle. Step on sinister, everyone is demons these days. Trust me, once you step to us, you will not leave as you came. See, we ain't the same, raising names. Real fame comes from Ba, it means to speak, to say. I have lots to say. My ancestors taught me how to pray, ask and receive. Given that you live in reciprocity, our Ba shall speak through you to give our message of praise. Hands raised, this is dua. This is dua. Light body emerges Kaaba. Give me high five, hands up. This ain't a stick up, this is dua. Giving praise, they're only giving praise when they receive a raise. Like thank God, I receive a raise as I rise up every single day. Raise comes from res, giving life the sun's rays, hands embrace. Consciousness extinct, even the ones who think they are woke are still asleep. Resi means to watch and it deals with what you see. Resi means to dream and it's the tongue of the speech. Watch what you speak, bring dreams to reality. Watch tower, watch me tower over with power. This is more than album, this is pure magic. Creation vibrations, layers on layers, prayers on prayers. Demon slayers, soul cakes of fire. Caught up in a rapture like I need a baker. The Lord has risen, watch the bread rise. To give sustenance, I've seen death eyes. The moon is my left eye, praise Yah, dua. This is House of ATTON, I don't have a mask on, I'll tell you all what happened. I see they got the facts wrong, flow fluid. Walk with ancestors like I'm Putis. Who's this? Greek named Anubis. Prove it. I see bodies walking around soulless, clueless. Ani Pata, don't compare me to Steve Jobs. Call me Pata Sakar. If you need to do more research, search Ray. Hands in vagina plays when pray. Spitting seeds into the womb to birth and raise. See, that's parades. Give thanks like it's in your hands. Collecting plates, ancient stele. Step through fire, see we trailblaze. Fate and faith, this is knowledge. Facts will flip or fake. Tell me what's at stake to give thanks. Hands raised, this is dua. This is dua. Light body emerges Kaaba. Give me high five, hands up. This ain't a stick up, this is dua. SCRIIIBE Sessions Volume 1. For the record. Open your eye in alignment with time and you'll see the truth like it's a physical thing. From the darkness I arise, so it's not a surprise when you learn of the light that I bring. As above, so below, I find a rhythm and flow as I grow with the pendulum swing. This is the matrix where everyone's faking they sleep here in life while we wake up in dreams. Shedding the skin like a serpent, this work makes it worse at attaining a purpose. While searching internal, examine what all is in me. Most will not make it, their soul cannot take it. Reality shaking, you've seen what I've seen. Reap what you sow with the weavers of speech, achievers, and this is the read 'em and weed 'em. You cannot read them, vibrations that none of them speak. Walker medu netter, light is feather is heavy. To learn that your will isn't free, netter willing, I continue to lead with my ebas. I'm sweeping my consciousness clean, training in realms that are unseen. My aura is summing, set fire to all of the fiends. Stand on my Atef is all seeing eye. We supply 93, that means we are supreme. Healing through tones on my senses, connecting and this year wealthy is health, this is green. This is illusion, reality veiled in delusion. Thoughts become intrusive, it's foolish to not know by now that it ain't what it seems. This is way more than belief. I see clearly the lies. My six senses of sight are hypnotized. No wonder everyone sleeps. Open your eyes. It's time to set off the alarm. The performance of harm. Don't you know you're a star? God in human form and you rise with the beast. More than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper. Seeing the state of the planet, the damage, the famines expanding beyond your belief. I see they landed, they've handed the people a cannon and aiming it right at your feet. Blowing a hole where you're standing, creating the panic. The tactical planning is deep. Teaching you're only a man and the God is in heaven, the seventh outside of your reach. If you're the question, they'll call you a manic, frantic, erratic, depression, demonic. When you're teaching through the magical speech, they'll call you serpent, the one in the garden. Pardon my knowledge for having the knowledge and prowess to see. He really told the truth to Adam and Eve. You'll have distinction between good and evil if you eat of the fruit of the tree. Now you're a god, open your eye, cleansing yourself so that now you can see. They stole the stories and twisted them like it's a spliff. They put the fire to leaf, I put the fire to speech. I put the fire to heat. We don't do liars and thieves, they just desire to greed. This is my record to keep, this is my throne. You cannot sit in my seat, and I command it. I give more than 10 commandments. This is the law of attraction, and we have infinite stamina. My stage is where I'm standing. This is my art, God is in me. I only keep goddesses with me. They are the magical beings, they are the holy ones, birthing the gods. We're overcoming the odds. We are the even and odd. They're in the odds, we're in the all. Ancestors answer my prayers, forever grateful. I will forever say thank you. Inspiration to awake the sleepers. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper.
You and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of Ma'at, and may you rise and come forth as conscious light, like the divine Ra, who rise and shine forevermore, Ma'at. Otep.
I look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. Look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem. Suhor, son of Heheru, I am him. King, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem. Suhor, son of Heheru. Words powerful, Hekau. See, prove you can feel the roots. Gone, just look up, I am proof. Breaking doors now, make some room. But I is now speaking through me and trust.
Peace and love, everybody. Can y'all hear me? Peace and love.
Yes.
Atef. Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to the house of ATTON.
Yes, we can hear you.
Peace, great brother. Welcome, everybody, to the house of ATTON. Ancient TEHUTI'S teachings of the Neteru presents the Battle of Qadesh by yours truly, the mighty Atef Kemetic. Before we begin this wonderful class, we will do as we do every week and begin with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki Ma'at, Un Ns, Nintet or Set Ma'at, Min Hepapet Ma'at, Her in Hu Kui, Her Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Peace and love, everybody. I'm going to introduce the great brothers on the panel. I'm going to begin with the great brother Menkur Mary Ma'at. Menkur Mary Ma'at is a student of the master teacher, the Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, and a follower of Ma'at. Menkur is the Heb, the festivities organized in the house of ATTON. He's the cultural enlightenment advisor and a teacher, a developer of the Pathways to Awakening, a director and producer of documentaries, and a researcher of ancient civilizations, and also a researcher of the knowledge of spells. Next, we have the great primordial thought 9 is a seeker of divine wisdom, the wisdom with universal structure, the wisdom that remains the same from every perspective, the wisdom that adapts to any interaction, the wisdom that creates silence, the wisdom that sustains the house of ATTON. Next, we have the mighty scribe Ani PTAH Tehuti is a teacher of knowledge, a spoken word artist, a creator, awakening the sleepers and healing the chosen ones through sound vibrational tone and conscious thought. He's the Sab, the wisdom door opener, and the lead organizer here at the house of ATTON movement. And your presenter for the night, yours truly, the mighty Atef Kemetic. I'm the esteemed steward of the venerable house of ATTON. As a devoted disciple of the master teacher, the illustrious Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, I proudly undertake the role of the sagacious host for the weekly gathering within the sacred halls of the house of ATTON. Here we delve into the profound teachings that illuminate the path of Ma'at. In the sacred sanctuary of the house of ATTON, I guide fellow seekers on a journey of enlightenment and understanding, drawing from the wellspring of ancient wisdom. Our gatherings are profound explorations into the depths of truth, meticulously deciphered through the lens of ancestral artifacts and the profound teachings bestowed upon us by the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. My commitment to the pursuit of wisdom extends beyond the confines of our weekly gatherings. As a true-hearted devotee of truth, I strive to embody the essence of Ma'at in all aspects of life, expressing unwavering love for my people. My soul resonates with the harmonious frequencies of the Meadow Nature. I stand as a loyal guardian of Ma'at, steadfastly defending the sacred principles that govern our existence within the house of ATTON. Welcome, everybody, to Study Guide Sundays. Peace and love. What's up, great brothers? How y'all feeling?
Peace, feeling good, great brother. How you feeling? We doing good today.
Oh man, I'm feeling wonderful, brother. You know, just getting ready for this good reading that we got going on here. You know, Battle of Qadesh. You know, see what we could put together. How you feeling, great brother?
Feeling good. We gonna get some axe chopping, some heads off. What's gonna happen in this battle?
You got to read the story, brother. You got to read the story.
That's why I'm here to hear. I'm here to hear.
You got to read the story, good brother. Yeah, man. How y'all feeling? What a great brother Ani. Look, we can see you on TV, but we can't see you for real. We can't see you backstage. So it's like you here, but you're not really here. I don't know. I gotta click on my computer. Ani, you there, brother? I see you just scratched your head or something, bro. But I don't really see you for real. %.
Ani, you not coming through on the YouTube.
To our great brother, yes, Hotep Henu. Yeah, I am doing excellent. Looking forward to seeing what you put together in this very powerful, historical story as we begin to decipher through the lens of ancestral artifacts. Great brother. So to our Henu to you. How you doing, great brother?
Henu, great brother, feeling good. I'm gonna tell you, I finally finished before starting time. I finally was able to get it completed before the bell rung. You know how you was going to class and the bell rung and you was still trying to do your homework. So I was able to finish in enough time. Usually I'd be rushing and trying to do it, you know, but the same amount of effort and energy went into it, just trying to learn the programs, trying to learn the story, just you know, trying to embody the Medu Neter as our ancestors related it to us. They left it for us so beautifully. So, you know, just trying to get some understanding. Like Saba said yesterday in the class, you can tell all the lies you want. Yeah, they'll keep you there. Yeah, they'll keep you up, man. So I hope, well, they got this in the museum somewhere. So hopefully, I'm gonna read the story. I need you gonna get a breakdown.
You know, it just depends. You know, you never know. Whenever you told me what you were going to be doing, from the research I was already in, I'm in a particular book, and it was right there when you said it. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense." I'm looking at it right now, so very powerful. Yes, I'm excited for this.
It's a great synchronicity, man.
Yeah, someone let me try this. Someone put some emojis in the chat real quick. I want to see if this works properly. But yes, peace and love, Henu, everyone. We have the great moderator Anu here with us, and the great social media manager Antu, who says, Tua, HOA, Ku, Simiu in Ma'at, at Kerbet Sin Isfet. Thank you, HOA, the shining ones who live upon right and truth. Without deceit, they abominate wickedness. Peace and love, Henu, to Anu and Antu. Glad to see you. We have Hutch Nation in the building. Hotep Marie family. Hotep Marie to you. Big tune. Loud and clear. All right. Excellent. Great brother. Glad to have you here. We have the great Nookpoo, who says Ma'at. Hotep Natiru. Wonderful. Glad to see you all. Glad to see you all here with us. And yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Great Anu, if you could post the support links, great brother, so I can pin those to the top. That'll be great. Henu to you. Let me check something here. Did you all see? Let me see. I want this to see if we can get Tehuti to fly across the screen. There it is. Okay. All right. Okay, it's just a nice little feature addition for you all. So when you send in your emojis, they'll pop across the screen. So flying sabas. All right.
Look, Pooh about to have a field day.
All right, yeah, there we go. That way I can have you as my moderator, as the pinned message up at the top, great brother. So 2 out for that. All right. So yes, how's everyone doing in the chat? Hope everyone is well and healthy. As we continue to bring ancestral artifacts over religious opinion to everyone. For those who may have noticed, Saba TEHUTI'S pod class from yesterday was taken down. YouTube had taken it down for what they label as medical misinformation. It's something that they don't take any time to look into. As soon as anyone says the V word, everyone knows what the V word is. As soon as you say that, they start striking. So that's what they did, and I'm currently working on uploading the pod class. I'm gonna send it to Saba, but we're also gonna I'm gonna upload it to Rumble, because they don't. It's one of the reasons why we have the Rumble. Just like with the class I did, how much does praise cost? The session number 8, with YouTube taking it down, but it still lives on in Rumble. So we'll upload that to Rumble, so we don't have to edit that section out. But I still will, and send it to Saba if he wants to re-upload it to YouTube. But we definitely want that section not to be in there, so it doesn't receive that again. We don't want that, so we can continue to keep having the pod class. Peace and love, everyone. It's a beautiful thing that we are expanding and utilizing these different platforms, so we don't just have one platform that has to approve of what we're teaching and what we're speaking, to keep our classes and our teachings online. And if they say no, then it's ripped and you can't get it back. So we don't want that. And so there are preventive measures that we're putting in place, that are in place, to make sure that we have control of that. As Nukpu says, deaf to the ISFET. Yeah, we're not we're not allowing that. So all right. To Anu, let me see what you see. I think he's saying the PayPal link is for some reason not working, so let's look at that. Make sure all the links are working. We don't want no ISFET preventing anything from allowing Ma'at to flow through the HOA. So let me post this and see if it's the same thing. Okay, so yeah, the link I posted works. So Anu, I'll send you my link so you can have that. Great brother. So 2 out for that, for letting me know. All right, great brothers. Hotep, what's on your eaves, great brother? Menku Ara looking like he got a 4K camera floating in the screen. Brother sound like he in a studio right now where the greats record. So, Hinu, great brother.
Peace, Hotep. I was counting the days, and if I'm correct, we're 28 days away from the Pathways to Awakening. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, definitely tap in with us and get your tickets. Looking forward to the ceremony, the magic, the rituals that are going to take place. It's going to be powerful to be able to come together in the physical, be in the presence of such powerful beings, and just to celebrate and party like the people of Kemet used to party. So definitely looking forward to that, and definitely looking forward to this teaching too, because who doesn't like a good battle? So I want to hear some gory, you know what I mean? I want to hear some sound effects with the sword, the axe chopping, bones cracking, all of that. So I'm ready.
Yeah, it's wonderful, great brother. Yeah, 2 up for letting everyone know just how close the Pathways is approaching. So everyone, make sure you go get your tickets. houseofatten.org. Choose your meal that the great Nani Aset Mur is preparing for everyone. Primordial Thought 9 was just bragging to us in the back about what we're missing out on. So everyone, make sure that you set your get the meal that you want to have. To us to the great Nani for just all she's doing to assist us with the Pathways. Yes, Hotep Hinu, great brother, Primordial Thought 9. This great brother, whenever, as you see, we have new name additions within our Netterverse here, and everyone has their titles. And Primordial Thought 9 has the title now of the Sahih or the Sahih. And that's a Medu word. That is, the root word is the Sahah, and it's a council or a hall. And so to be a representation of what the great brother does, so Nefer, the word Sahih means a man of good counsel, a man of great counsel. So that is what the great Primordial Thought 9 represents, and he has been. So I'm very thankful for this great brother and doing what he does and putting forth his classes to and watching, what his Eve wants to express be expressed. So we're just adding on to that with the Medu, and now the next chapter is to get that Ren from the great Saba, and who knows what's going to happen after that. So Hinu to you, great brother.
Peace. Yes, definitely an honor. I definitely if you going to imbue that energy, I appreciate Heru to be able to observe and give such a title. So Tua to you for that, great brother. I appreciate that. Yes, most definitely excited for the Ren. It's gotta go with the rest of the boxes, man. I see all these great Rens over here on the boxes, so it only makes sense to complete it. And but I'm patient. Definitely excited for that. The pathways is definitely something that just makes me just feel joyous, man, because you get to really be around true family. You know, just the conscious mind, man. You gotta love that. You gotta love being around like-minded people and want to see each and every person succeed and continue to grow and to become just an imbuement like our PHARAOH, the material. So Tua, for that, great brother. It's always good to be up here with you all. Definitely excited for Atef's reading. A great reader, a phenomenal reader. I'm just excited, great brother, because you choose the stories to where I get to sit and just definitely soak it in and try to envision myself. That's why I like when you read the stories, read the Sabaites, read all the literature, man, just because I get to, like I said, and try to imbue myself observing it while you're reading it. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for this wonderful class. To everybody in the chat, it's always good to see that participation. Emojis flying everywhere. I'm excited. So peace and love, great brothers. Hope y'all good as well.
Yes, Hotep Henu. Yeah, great brother Tua for all you're doing. Peace and love to the great Atef Kima'at, who created this thumbnail here, The Battle of Qadesh by Atef Kima'at, House of ATTON. Very nefer image, great brother. Peace to you, Aksafek, Hotep Ma'at Marie Aout. Hotep Ma'at to you, great brother. Glad to have you here with us. This great brother supports in every way. Looking forward to spending some time with you, great brother, at the Pathways in the Great Per. So yes, peace and love to you. Hush Nation says, salute primordial. Salute to the great Hush Nation. Definitely looking forward to meeting you as well. Well, I've met Asafek, but meeting you, great brother. Peace to you. And then we have Burger Sleuth. You have to explain to us what that name is. What is Burger Sleuth? He says, Jesus freely offers forgiveness of sins and eternal life. Faith in Jesus Christ is the only way. It's the only way to salvation. Well, great brother, I think this is like the third time you've been in this class. I don't think you'll catch us in any Jesus classes. So I'm glad you're here learning the real teachings. And go watch the last SCRIIBE session class, so you can actually learn the real history that's associated, with this person that today people recognize as Jesus. There's so much history to learn, and there's factual evidence that we all have access to, and that's what the HOA is here about, right? Ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. So just Tua for being here in class and learning about what the great Atef is gonna be presenting to us. The Battle of Qadesh is an ancestral, historical, factual occurrence, right? Because it exists through documentation of the time when it is documented to be existing. So that's a very important part that I know a lot of believers miss out on, is dates. The ignorance of dates. Yeah, just too up for being here and learning, and you keep coming to these classes, great brother. Your language is gonna switch up, so keep coming.
It's already switching up. He said, Minku, I'm great, thank you. Hey, Roo. He meant to say, how are you? But he said, hey, Roo, you're right, Ani. Shout out to you, Burger Sleuth.
Yes. Hey, Roo is definitely up in here. You definitely got that one right.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, just keep coming, and every time you've been here, you've been respectful, and that's what matters. There's always going to be a disagreement of thought processes, and that's why that there are bridges, right? If you need to travel over some water, you need something that's going to be able to get you from one place to another. And so, yeah, just keep walking on this bridge here, and you'll come to a conclusion that makes sense to you. So, yeah, peace and love, everyone. I do want an explanation for that name, though. I don't know what that means. So, peace to you. Hush Nation says, Bahaw. All right, wonderful. So, everyone, make sure you have your notepads out. Everyone, make sure you have your attention focused, as this is a very important story, a very important piece of history that is studied all throughout the planet. Everyone knows of the book called The Art of War, which is a great book. But this story here is another great example of that. So we'll pass it to you, great brother Tefrim Kema'at, the Jeddu of the House of ATTON. If you are ready to go, here is so everyone knows, the support links are pinned to the top. Support this if you are here and you appreciate what's taking place. And here are the links here, the QR codes that you can scan. The Cash App is now the House of ATTON. And if you have any troubles finding that, just utilize the links that are in the browser or pinned to the top. We appreciate all the love and support, and I'll show all of that at the conclusion of the presentation. I do want to give a hinu and let Robert E. Williams know that I did receive your support for Anu's class, and we'll show that at the end as well. So 2 out for that. I'm giving you 2 out for that now, and I'll show it later. So peace and love to Robert Williams for supporting the Who is Inky class by the great Anu, our moderator here at the House of ATTON. All right, so with that, we can begin. If you're ready, great brother Atef.
Atef, yeah, I'm ready, great brother. Yeah, I'm ready. This what you talking about right here?
Cutting in and out. Put it in front of your body. Only see the top of it. There we go. Okay, the Art of War. Yeah, there you are. The Art of War. Yes, sir.
I have two of them. I have the hard read, and then I got it the way it was written. Got a few of them. We don't just talk about it. We actually be about it. Ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get started. This is a great story. I'm still learning, guys. I just want to learn. So, you know, I'll put together something that I actually finished it a little earlier. Usually, like I said, I'll be going till the bell ring, and I still won't be completely finished. I did notice some things when I finished that I would like to have changed, but I didn't. I said I'm just gonna keep it in there and just keep going, because I wanted to be ready on time to present this for everybody. I put a lot of energy into this, man. It's a lot, man. I love it though. I love it. I want to give a hinu to my great teacher, Saba Tehuti Amahotep Ra. Thank you for all that you do, your motivation, your inspiration. Give a hinu to you, great brother Ani, for pushing us forward and motivating us. Creating this study guide, Sundays, this book study. I'm like, what? I'm still trying to understand the book. I'm reading the book. Shout out to you, great Primordial Thought. You're gonna go from Primordial Thought to formerly known as, you know, I went from Arcad Infinite, which meant always reading careful about details, because it's like one of my favorite things to do is read and learn. So yeah, now I'm creating as I read, thanks to Ani and Saba for inspiring and motivating. So I'm gonna get started, and Ani, I could share the screen the same way, right?
Yes, you can share the screen the same way. Make sure your audio is on when you share.
Okay.
And Hotep, right before you start, Hotep, Nook Poo, peace, great brother. We know you're ready to just start going crazy. But just make sure you do keep it respectful in the chat, great brother. As long as everyone is respectful, we have to keep that consistent. So if someone else comes in, you know, those comments will have to be booted. So I want you to make sure that you come forth respectful, great brother. And I know you're ready. You got the axe out, which is very powerful. But there's a time when that's needed. It's not needed all the time, great brother. So Hinu and Tua to you, great brother. Just put that out there. And yes, did you share your screen? Atef?
Yeah, I'm going now. Let me see. Go out. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. I hope you guys like it. Learning how to use these programs. At the same time, learning these stories that our ancestors left behind. The beautiful thing about our teacher was that when I saw him, he opened my eyes to recognizing a lot of the ways that the English language can deceive us and fool us. One of the beautiful things he pointed out was ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. Another thing he pointed out was how certain characters only exist in certain places or only exist in books. Before that, and yesterday's class, oh my goodness, was fantastic. Look forward to Ani putting that back up on Rumble. But, you know, just understanding the language and, you know, these stories that were fed to us as children. And there's no artifacts. There's nothing about them written during the time that the so-called events or took place. So that was a beautiful thing. Now that was a beautiful matrix that was broken for me early on. Was what did the people themselves actually say? You know, were they not intelligent enough to write about themselves or to write about the event? So this is a beautiful story, and it's called The Battle of Qadesh in English. And I'm going to be reading from Merriam Litcham's Volume 1. And let me see if I could pull it up. Go screen share. Okay, putting it up now. Let's go share audio. Okay, it's up. I just see the matrix on my end. I don't know what it looks like on you guys then. You see the matrix? Is it gonna go away? Okay. All right. Yeah, I see it.
Yes, we see.
Okay. We're going to be reading from page 57 on Ancient Egyptian Literature, Volume 2 by Merriam Litcham. And the story we're going to be reading is called The Battle of Qadesh. There it is.
The Battle of Qadesh took place in the 13th century BC between the Kemetic Empire, led by PHARAOH II, and the Hittite Empire, led by King Muwatalli II. Their armies engaged each other at the Orontes River. The Battle of Qadesh took place in the 13th century BC between the Kemetic Empire, led by PHARAOH II, and the Hittite Empire, led by King Muwatalli II. Their armies engaged each other at the Orontes River, just upstream of Lake Homs and near the archaeological site of Qadesh, along what is today the Lebanon-Syria border. It is generally dated to May 1274 BC and is the earliest pitched battle in recorded history for which details of tactics and formations are known. It is believed to be the largest battle ever.
Hey, Atef? Atef, can you hear me, brother? Mic check to Atef. I want to make sure this is clear and there's no echo. We want to hear this loud and clear. Mic check to Atef. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Whenever you play the video, mute your mic so there isn't an echo. Just
So
started from the top.
Okay.
BC, between the Kemetic Empire led by Rameses II and the Hittite Empire led by King Muwatalli II. Their armies engaged each other at the Orontes River, just upstream of Lake Homs and near the archaeological site of Qadesh, along what is today the Lebanon-Syria border. It is generally dated to May 1274 BC and is the earliest pitched battle in recorded history for which details of tactics and formations are known. It is believed to be the largest battle ever fought involving chariots, numbering at a total of 5,000 to 6,000. The battle itself occurred in 3 stages. Initially, Hittite chariots were deployed and charged a Kemetic division that was en route to the main Kemetic camp on the northwest side of the fortress of Qadesh. In the second phase of the battle, Rameses II launched a chariot counterattack on the Hittite chariots, which were plundering the Kemetic camp, and pushed them back towards the Orontes River and main force of the Hittite army. The third stage was a dedicated series of charges launched by both sides as the Hittite reserve was positioned and refused to retreat over the river. The pitched battle resulted in a Kemetic tactical victory, but a strategic stalemate for both sides. A pitched battle or set-piece battle is a battle in which opposing forces each anticipate the setting of the battle, and each chooses to commit to it. Either side may have the option to disengage before the battle starts or shortly thereafter. A pitched battle is not a chance encounter, such as a meeting engagement or where one side is forced to fight at a time not of its choosing, such as happens in a siege or an ambush. Pitched battles are usually carefully planned to maximize one's strengths against an opponent's weaknesses and use a full range of deceptions, feints, and other maneuvers. They are also planned to take advantage of terrain favorable to one's force. Forces strong in cavalry, for example, will not select swamp, forest, or mountain terrain for the planned struggle. Rameses II, also known as Rameses the Great, reigned as PHARAOH of Egypt for 66 years, 2 months, and 9 days. His long reign allowed him to become the most prolific builder of the kingdom. His name can be found almost everywhere a temple was built in Kemet, and the number of variants of his names is unparalleled. He is often regarded as one of the greatest, most celebrated, and most powerful pharaohs of the New Kingdom. He is also widely considered one of Kemet's most successful warrior netters, conducting no fewer than 15 military campaigns, all resulting in victories. He celebrated an unprecedented 13 or 14 Heb festivals, more than any other pharaoh. Shout out to my brother Menku Arameri Ma'at. A skilled military leader, he commissioned massive depictions of scenes from the Battle of Qadesh on impressive monuments erected throughout Kemet, including the massive temples at Abu Simbel, Ramesseum, and Luxor. Despite this, his name was not associated with these places until the decipherment of the Meddu Necha in the early 1820s, and was barely mentioned by the Greek historians of antiquity. Diodorus describes a huge temple at Thebes built by the king of kings, Ozymandias, which is a Greek approximation of Ursur Ma'at Ra, Setepen Ra, the throne name of Rameses II, which means the justice of Ra is powerful, chosen of Ra. One of his Nebti Rens was Mekhemet Waf Chasut, which means protector of Kemet, who curbs foreign lands. His nomen name, also known as the personal name given at birth, was Ramesu Meri Amun, which means Rameses, Ra has fashioned him, beloved of Amun. Rameses led an army of 4 divisions, Amun, Ra, Set, and the PTAH division. There was also a troop called the Ne'arin that Ramesses II had left in Amuru in order to secure the port of Sumur. This division would come to play a critical role in the battle. Also significant was the presence of Sheridan, or the Sea People, fighting for the Kemetic army. After being outmaneuvered, ambushed, and surrounded, Ramesses II personally led a charge through the Hittite ranks with his bodyguard. They broke through and avoided being killed or captured. On the Hittite side, King Muwatalli II had mustered several of his allies, among them Rimisharinah, the king of Aleppo. Ramesses II recorded a long list of 19 Hittite allies brought to Qadesh by Muwatalli. This list is of considerable interest to Hittitologists, as it reflects the extent of Hittite influence at the time. Muwatalli had positioned his troops behind Old Qadesh. Ramesses II was misled by 2 captured nomads who said the Hittite army was still far off at Aleppo. The nomads were Hittite spies sent to mislead the pharaoh. Ramesses ordered his forces to set up camp. He marched hastily towards Qadesh, completely unaware of the large enemy force waiting for him. Ramesses II describes his arrival on the battlefield in the 2 principal inscriptions concerning the battle, the poem and the bulletin. As Ramesses' Seku advance guard were about 11 kilometers from Qadesh, south of Shabtuna, he met 2 Shasu nomads who told him that the Hittite king was in the land of Aleppo on the north of Tunip, 200 kilometers away, where the Shasu said he was too much afraid of Pharaoh, Ankh-Uja Seneb, to come south. This was, according to Kemetic texts, a false report ordered by the Hittites with the aim of preventing the army of His Majesty from drawing up to combat with the foe of Hatti. A Kemetic scout then arrived at the camp, bringing 2 Hittite prisoners. The prisoners revealed that the entire Hittite army and the Hittite king were actually close at hand. After this, Ramesses II called his princes to meet with him and discuss the fault of his governors and officials in not informing the position of Muwatalli II and the Hittite army. Ramesses was alone with his bodyguard and the Amun division. The vizier was ordered to hasten the led by high nobles close to the king. As the Hittite forces approached the same Kemetic camp again, the Ne'arin troop contingent from Amuru suddenly arrived, surprising the Hittites. Finally, the PTAH division arrived from the south, threatening the Hittite rear. After 6 unsuccessful Hittite charges, their forces were almost surrounded, and the survivors were pinned against the Orontes. The remaining Hittite elements were forced to abandon their chariots and attempt to swim the river as fast as crocodiles, according to Kemetic accounts. Many drowned. Following the battle, the Hittites were routed, but they held on to Qadesh. Unable to support a long siege of the walled city of Qadesh, Ramesses gathered his troops and headed south towards Damascus and ultimately back to Kemet. Ramesses proclaimed he had routed his enemies and that he had not attempted to capture Qadesh. The battle was a personal triumph for Ramesses. After moving into the ambush, facing defeat and death, the king had managed to rally his scattered troops and save the day. His new lighter and faster 2-man chariots had shown their usefulness in catching up to the slower 3-man Hittite chariots. In anger at the Ammon division's failure at the beginning of the battle, Ramesses had the entire division executed. Hittite records from Hattusa tell a different conclusion to the conflict, in which Ramesses was forced to depart from Qadesh in defeat. Modern historians conclude that the battle ended in a draw from a practical point of view. It is held as a turning point for the Kemetians, who had developed new technologies and rearmed against years of territorial incursions by the Hittites. The Hittite king Muwatalli II continued to campaign as far south as the Kemetian province of Upi, Appa, which he captured and placed under the control of his brother Hattusili, the future Hattusili III. Kemet's sphere of influence in Asia was now restricted to Canaan, but the region was threatened for a time by revolts among Kemet's vassal states in the Levant. Rameses was compelled to embark on a series of campaigns to uphold his authority in Canaan before he could again attack the Hittites. In the 8th and 9th years of his reign, Rameses extended his military successes. This time, he successfully captured the Hittite-ruled cities of Dapur and Tunip, where no Egyptian soldier had been seen since the time of Thutmose III, almost 120 years earlier. Rameses's victory proved ephemeral. The thin strip of territory pinched between Amurru and Qadesh was not a defensible possession. Within a year, it had returned to Hittite control. Rameses had to march against Dapur once more in his 10th year. Neither Kemet nor Hatti could decisively defeat the other in the region. An official peace treaty with the new Hittite king Hattusili III was signed some 15 years after the Battle of Qadesh in the 21st year of Ramesses II's reign, 1258 BC. This concluded the borderland conflicts. The treaty was inscribed on a silver tablet, of which a clay copy was found in the Hittite capital Hattusa, now in Turkey, and is on display at the Istanbul Archaeology Museum. A large replica hangs on a wall at the headquarters of the United Nations as the earliest international peace treaty known to historians. A Kemetic version survives on papyrus. There is more evidence in the form of texts and wall reliefs for this battle than for any other in the ancient Near East. Almost all of it is from a Kemetic perspective. The inscriptions are repeated multiple times, 7 for the bulletin and 8 for the poem, in temples in Abydos, Temple of Luxor, Karnak, Abu Simbel, and the Ramesseum. In addition to these narratives, numerous small captions point out elements of the battle. Besides the inscriptions, a hieratic copy of the poem is preserved in the Rafet Salier papyrus, of which the first page is lost. The second page, Papyrus Rafet, is in the Louvre, and the third page, Papyrus Salier III, is in the British Museum, and a letter from Rameses to Hattusili III written in response to a complaint by Hattusili about the pharaoh's claims of victory in the battle. Cuneiform references to the battle have been found at Hattusa, including a letter from Rameses to Hattusili III written in response to a scoffing complaint by Hattusili about the pharaoh's victorious depiction of the battle. Hattusha was the capital of the Hittite Empire in the late Bronze Age during two distinct periods. Its ruins lie near modern Turkey. Let us begin the reading of Ancient Egyptian Literature by Merriam Litcham, page 57. The Bulletin. Year 5, 3rd month of summer, day 9, under the majesty of Ra-Harakti, the strong bull beloved of Ma'at, the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Uzer-Ma-Ra-Sepetepen-Ra, the son of Ra-Ramesses, beloved of Amun, given life eternally. Now his majesty was in Jahi on his second campaign of victory. A good awakening in life, prosperity, and health in the tent of his majesty in the hill country south of Qadesh. Thereafter in the morning his majesty appeared like the rising of Ra, clad in the panoply of his father Mount. The Lord proceeded northward and arrived in the region south of the town of Shabtuna. Then came two Shosu of the tribes of Shosu to say to his majesty, "Our brothers who are chiefs of tribes with the foe from Qadesh have sent us to his majesty to say that we will be servants of Pharaoh and will abandon the chief of Qadesh." His majesty said to them, "Where are they, your brothers who sent you to tell this matter to his majesty. They said to his majesty, "They are where the vile chief of Qadi is, for the foe from Qadi is in the land of Caleb to the north of Tunip. He was too fearful of Pharaoh to come southward when he heard that Pharaoh had come northward." Now the two Shosu who said these words to his majesty said them falsely, for it was the foe from Qadi who had sent them to observe where his majesty was, in order to prevent his majesty's army from making ready to fight with the foe from Qadi. For the foe from Qati had come with his infantry and his chariotry, and with the chiefs of every land that was in the territory of the land of Qati, and their infantry and their chariotry, whom he had brought with him as allies to fight against the army of his majesty, he standing equipped and ready behind Qadesh the old, and his majesty did not know that they were there. When the two Shosu who were in the presence had been released, his majesty proceeded northward and reached the northwest of Qadesh. The camp of his majesty's army was pitched there, and his majesty took his seat on a throne of fine gold to the north of Qadesh on the west side of the Orontes. Then came a scout who was in his majesty's retinue, bringing 2 scouts of the foe from Qati. When they had been brought into the presence, his majesty said to them, "What are you?" They said, "We belong to the chief of Qadi. It is he who sent us to observe where his majesty is." His majesty said to them, "Where is he, the foe from Qadi?" "I have heard he is in the land of Caleb, to the north of Tunip." They said to his majesty, "Look, the vile chief of Qati has come together with the many countries who are with him, whom he has brought with him as allies, the land of Dardani, the land of Nahrin, that of Keshkesh, those of Massa, those of Pedasa, the land of Karkisha and Luka, the land of Carchemish, the land of Arzawa, the land of Ugarit, that of Iran, the land of Enisa, Mushanet, Qadesh, Caleb, and the entire land of Kedi. They are equipped with their infantry and their chariotry, and with their weapons of war. They are more numerous than the sands of the shores. Look, they stand equipped and ready to fight behind Qadesh the old." Thereupon his majesty summoned the leaders into the presence to let them hear all the words which the 2 scouts of the foe from Qati who were in the presence had spoken. Then his majesty said to them, "Observe the situation in which the governors of foreign countries and the chiefs of the lands of Pharaoh are. Every day they stood up to tell Pharaoh, 'The vile chief of Qadi is in the land of Caleb north of Tunip, having fled before his majesty when he heard that Pharaoh had come.' So they said daily to his majesty. But now, this very moment, I have heard from these 2 scouts of the foe from Qati that the vile foe from Qati has come with the many countries that are with him, men and horses as numerous as the sand. Look, they stand concealed behind Qadesh the old, while my governors of foreign countries and my chiefs of the land of Pharaoh were unable to tell us that they had come." Then spoke the chiefs who were in the presence in answer to the good Neteru, "It is a great crime that the governors of foreign countries and the chiefs of Pharaoh have committed in failing to discover for themselves the foe from Qadi wherever he was, and to report him to Pharaoh daily." Then the vizier was commanded to hasten the army of Pharaoh as it marched on the way to the south of the town of Shabtuna, so as to bring it to where his majesty was. Now while his majesty sat speaking with the chiefs, the vile foe from Qadi came with his infantry and his chariotry, and the many countries that were with him. Crossing the ford to the south of Qadesh, they charged into his majesty's army as it marched unaware. Then the infantry and chariotry of his majesty weakened before them on their way northward to where his majesty was. Thereupon the forces of the foe from Qati surrounded the followers of his majesty who were by his side. When his majesty caught sight of them, he rose quickly, enraged at them like his father Mont. Taking up weapons and donning his armor, he was like Seth in the moment of his power. He mount victory in Thebes, his great horse, and started out quickly alone by himself. His majesty was mighty, his heart stout, one could not stand before him. All his ground was ablaze with fire. He burned all the countries with his blast. His eyes were savage as he beheld them. His power flared like fire against them. He heeded not the foreign multitude. He regarded them as chaff. His majesty charged into the force of the foe from Kati and the many countries with him. His majesty was like Seth, great of strength, like Sakhmet in the moment of her rage. His majesty slew the entire force of the foe from Kati, together with his great chiefs and all his brothers, as well as all the chiefs of all the countries that had come with him, their infantry and their chariotry, falling on their faces one upon the other. His majesty slaughtered them in their places. They sprawled before his horses, and his majesty was alone, none other with him. My majesty caused the forces of the foes from Kati to fall on their faces, one upon the other, as crocodiles fall into the water of the Orontes. I was after them like a griffin. I attacked all the countries, I alone. For my infantry and my chariotry had deserted me. Not one of them stood looking back. As I live, as Ra loves me, as my father Atum favors me, everything that my majesty has told, I did it in truth, in the presence of my infantry and my chariotry. Beginning of the victory of the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Uzur-Ma-Ra, Septepen-Ra, the son of Ra, Rameses, beloved of Amun, given life forever, which he won over the land of Kati, of Nahrin, the land of Arzawa, of Pidasa, that of Dardani, the land of Massa, the land of Karkisha and Luka, Carchemish, Kiti, the land of Qadesh, the land of Ugarit and Mushanet. His majesty was a youthful lord, active and without his like, his arms mighty, his heart stout, his strength like Mont in his hour, of perfect form like Atum, hailed when his beauty is seen, victorious over all lands, wily in launching a fight, strong wall around his soldiers, their shield on a day of battle, a bowman without his equal, who prevails over vast numbers. Head on he charges a multitude, his heart trusting his strength, stout-hearted in the hour of combat, like the flame when it consumes, firm-hearted like a bull ready for battle. He heeds not all the lands combined. 1,000 men cannot withstand him. 100,000 fail at his sight. Lord of fear, great of fame in the hearts of all the lands, great of awe, rich in glory, as is Seth upon his mountain, casting fear in foreigners' hearts, like a wild lion in a valley of goats, who goes forth in valor, returns in triumph, looking straight and free of boasting, firm in conduct, good in planning, whose first response is ever right, who saves his troops on battle day, greatly aids his charioteers, brings home his followers, rescues his soldiers, with a heart that is like a mountain of copper, the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Uzur-Ma-Ra Septepen-Ra, the son of Ra, Rames, beloved of Amun, given life forever like Ra. Now his majesty had made ready his infantry and his chariotry, and the Shurden in his majesty's captivity whom he had brought. Back in the victories of his strong arm, they had been supplied with. All their weapons and battle orders had been given to them. His majesty journeyed northward, his infantry and his chariotry with him, having made a good start with the march in year 5, 2nd, month of summer, day 9. His majesty passed the fortress of Asile, being mighty like Mont in his going forth, all foreign lands, trembling before him, their chiefs bringing their gifts, and all rebels, come and bow down through fear of his majesty's might. His majesty's army traveled on the narrow paths, as if on the roads of Egypt. Now when days had passed over this, his majesty was in Rames-Meramun, the town which is in the valley of the Pine, and his majesty proceeded northward. And when his majesty reached the hill country of Qadesh, his majesty went ahead like Mont, the lord of Thebes. He crossed the ford of the Orontes with the first army. Amun gives victory to Uzamara Septepen Ra, and his majesty arrived at the town of Qadesh. Now the vile foe from Kati had come, and brought together all the foreign lands as far as the end of the sea. The entire land of Kati had come, that of Nahran also, that of Arzawa and Dardani, that of Keshkesh, those of Massa, those of Pedasa, that of Irun, that of Karkisha, that of Luka, Kizuwadna, Karkamish, Ugarit, Kadi, the entire land of Nugis, Mushanet, and Qadesh. He had not spared a country from being brought of all those distant lands, and their chiefs were there with him, each one with his infantry and chariotry, a great number without equal. They covered the mountains and valleys, and were like locusts in their multitude. He had left no silver in his land. He had stripped it of all its possessions, and had given them to all the foreign countries, in order to bring them with him to fight. Now the vile foe from Kati, and the many foreign countries with him, stood concealed and ready to the northeast of the town of Qadesh, while his majesty was alone by himself with his attendants, the army of Ammon marching behind him, the army of Pre crossing the ford in the neighborhood south of the town of Shabtuna, at a distance of 1 eater from where his majesty was, the army of Patah being to the south of the town of Ironama, and the army of Seth marching on the road. And his majesty had made a first battle force from the best of his army, and it was on the shore of the land of Amor. Now the vile chief of Kadi stood in the midst of the army that was with him, and did not come out to fight for fear of his majesty, though he had caused men and horses to come in very great numbers like the sand. They were 3 men to a chariot, and equipped with all weapons of warfare, and they had been made to stand concealed behind the town of Qadesh. Then they came forth from the south side of Qadesh, and attacked the army of Pre in his middle, as they were marching, unaware and not prepared to fight. Then the infantry and chariotry of his majesty weakened before them, while his majesty was stationed to the north of the town of Qadesh, on the west bank of the Orontes. They came to tell it to his majesty, and his majesty rose, like his father Mont. He seized his weapons of war, he girded his coat of mail. He was like Baal in his hour, the great horse that bore. His majesty was victory in Thebes of the great stable of Uzermer, Sotpenra, beloved of Amun. Then they came forth from the south side of Qadesh, and attacked the army of Pre in its middle, as they were marching, unaware and not prepared to fight. Then the infantry and chariotry of his majesty weakened before them, while his majesty was stationed to the north of the town of Qadesh, on the west bank of the Orontes. They came to tell it to his majesty, and his majesty rose, like his father Mont. He seized his weapons of war, he girded his coat of mail. He was like Baal in his hour, the great horse that bore. His majesty was victory in Thebes of the great stable of Uzermer, Sotpenra, beloved of Amun. Hail when his beauty is seen, victorious over all lands, wily in launching a fight. Strong wall around his soldiers, their shield on the day of battle. A bowman without his equal, who prevails over vast numbers. Head on he charges a multitude, his heart trusting his strength, stout-hearted in the hour of combat, like the flame when it consumes. Firm-hearted like a bull, ready for battle. He heeds not all the lands combined. 1,000 men cannot withstand him, 100,000 fail at his sight. Lord of fear, great of fame in the hearts of all the lands, great of awe, rich in glory, as is Seth upon his mountain, casting fear in foreigners' hearts, like a wild lion in a valley of goats, who goes forth in valor, returns in triumph. looking straight and free of boasting, firm in conduct, good in planning, whose first response is ever right, who saves his troops on battle day, greatly aids his charioteers, brings home his followers, rescues his soldiers, with a heart that is like a mountain of copper, the king of upper and lower Kemet, Uzuma-Ra Septepen-Ra, the son of Ra, Ramesses, beloved of Amun, given life forever like Ra. Now his majesty had made ready his infantry and his chariotry, and the Sheridan in his majesty's captivity, whom he had brought back in the victories of his strong arm. They had been supplied with all their weapons, and battle orders had been given to them. His majesty journeyed northward, his infantry and his chariotry with him, having made a good start with the march in year 5, second month of summer, day 9. His majesty passed the fortress of Sile, being mighty like Mont in his going forth, all foreign lands trembling before him, their chiefs bringing their gifts, and all rebels coming bowed down through fear of his majesty's might. His majesty's army traveled on the narrow paths, as if on the roads of Kemet. Now when days had passed over this, his majesty was in Ramesses-Meramun, the town which is in the valley of the Pine, and his majesty proceeded northward. And when his majesty reached the hill country of Qadesh, his majesty went ahead, like Ma, the lord of Thebes. He crossed the ford of the Orontes with the first army. Amun gives victory to Uzuma-Ra Septepen-Ra, and his majesty arrived at the town of Qadesh. Now the vile foe from Qati had come and brought together all the foreign lands as far as the end of the sea. The entire land of Qati had come, that of Nahrin also, that of Arzawa and Dardani, that of Keshkesh, those of Massa, those of Paidasa, that of Iran, that of Karkisha, that of Luka, Kizuwadna, Karkamish, Ugarit, Kedi, the entire land of Nugas, Mushanat, and Qadesh. He had not spared a country from being brought of all those distant lands, and their chiefs were there with him, each one with his infantry and chariotry, a great number without equal. They covered the mountains and valleys, and were like locusts in their multitude. He had left no silver in his land. He had stripped it of all its possessions, and had given them to all the foreign countries, in order to bring them with him to fight. Now the vile foe from Qati, and the many foreign countries with him, stood concealed and ready to the northeast of the town of Qadesh, while his majesty was alone by himself with his attendants, the army of Amun marching behind him, the army of Ra crossing the ford in the neighborhood south of the town of Shabtuna, at a distance of 1 eater from where his majesty was, the army of Pata being to the south of the town of Iranama, and the army of Seth marching on the road. And his majesty had made a first battle force from the best of his army, and it was on the shore of the land of Amor. Now the vile chief of Qadi stood in the midst of the army that was with him, and did not come out to fight for fear of his majesty, though he had caused men and horses to come in very great numbers like the sand. They were 3 men to a chariot, and equipped with all weapons of warfare, and they had been made to stand concealed behind the town of Qadesh, more than 100,000 charioteers, more than 10,000 brothers and sons, who are united as one heart. The labors of many people are nothing. Amun is more helpful than they. I came here by the command of your mouth, O Amun. I have not transgressed your command. Now though I prayed in the distant land, my voice resounded in southern On. I found Amun came when I called to him. He gave me his hand, and I rejoiced. He called from behind as if nearby. Forward, I am with you. I, your father. My hand is with you. I prevail over 100,000 men. I am Lord of victory, lover of valor. I found my heart stout, my breast in joy. All I did succeeded. I was like Mount. I shot on my right, grasped with my left. I was before them like Seth in his moment. I found the mass of chariots in whose midst I was scattering before my horses. Not one of them found his hand to fight. Their hearts failed in their bodies through fear of me. Their arms all slackened. They could not shoot. They had no heart to grasp their spears. I made them plunge into the water as crocodiles plunge. They fell on their faces, one on the other. I slaughtered among them at my will. Not one looked behind him, not one turned around. Whoever fell down did not rise. And the wretched chief of Qadesh stood among his troops and chariots, watching his majesty fight all alone, without his soldiers and charioteers, stood turning, shrinking, afraid. Then he caused many chiefs to come, each of them with his chariotry, equipped with their weapons of warfare. The chief of Arzawa, and he of Massa, the chief of Iran, and he of Luka, he of Dardani, the chief of Carchemish, the chief of Karkisha, he of Caleb, the brothers of him of Kadi, all together. Their total of 1,000 chariots came straight into the fire. I charged toward them, being like Mont. In a moment I gave them a taste of my hand. I slaughtered among them. They were slain on the spot. One called out to the other, saying, No man is he who is among us. It is Set, great of strength, Baal in person. Not deeds of man are these his doings. They are of one who is unique, who fights 100,000 without soldiers and chariots. Come quick, flee before him, to seek life and breathe air. For he who attempts to get close to him, his hands, all his limbs grow limp. One cannot hold either bow or spears when one sees him come racing along. My majesty hunted them like a griffin. I slaughtered among them unceasingly. I raised my voice to shout to my army, Steady, steady your hearts, my soldiers. Behold me victorious, me alone. For Ammon is my helper, his hand is with me. How faint are your hearts, O my charioteers! None among you is worthy of trust. Is there none among you whom I helped in my land? Did I not rise as Lord when you were lowly, and made you into chiefs by my will every day? I have placed a son on his father's portion. I have banished all evil from the land. I released your servants to you, gave you things that were taken from you. Whosoever made a petition, I will do it, said I to him daily. No Lord has done for his soldiers what my majesty did for your sakes. I let you dwell in your villages without doing a soldier's service. So with my chariotry also I released them to their towns, saying, I shall find them just as today in the hour of joining battle. But behold, you have all been cowards. Not one among you stood fast to lend me a hand while I fought. As the Ba of my father Ammon endures, I wish I were in Kemet, like my fathers who did not see Syrians and did not fight them abroad. For not one among you has come, that he might speak of his service in Kemet. What a good deed to him who raised monuments in Thebes, the city of Ammon. This crime of my soldiers and charioteers, that is too great to tell. Behold, Ammon gave me his strength, when I had no soldiers, no chariotry. He caused every distant land to see my victory through my strong arm, I being alone, no captain behind me, no charioteer, foot soldier, officer. The lands that beheld me will tell my name, as far as distant lands unknown. Whoever among them escaped from my hand, they stood turned back to see my deeds. When I attacked their multitudes, their feet were infirm and they fled. All those who shot in my direction, their arrows veered as they attacked me. Now when Menina my shield-bearer saw that a large number of chariots surrounded me, he became weak and faint-hearted, great fear invading his body. He said to his majesty, My good lord, strong ruler, great savior of Kemet in wartime, we stand alone in the midst of battle, abandoned by soldiers and chariotry. What for do you stand to protect them? Let us get clear, save us, Uzamara Septepen Ra. His majesty said to his shield-bearer, Stand firm, steady your heart, my shield-bearer. I will charge them as a falcon pounces. I will slaughter, butcher, fling to the ground. Why do you fear these weaklings whose multitudes I disregard? His majesty then rushed forward. At a gallop he charged the midst of the foe. For the 6th time he charged them. I was after them like Baal in his moment of power. I slew them without pause. Now when my soldiers and chariotry saw that I was like Mont, strong arm, that my father Ammon was with me, making the foreign lands into chaff before me. They started coming one by one to enter the camp at time of night. They found all the foreign lands I had charged, lying fallen in their blood. All the good warriors of Kadi, the sons and brothers of their chiefs, for I had wrecked the plain of Qadesh, it could not be trodden because of their mass. Thereupon my soldiers came to praise me, their faces bright at the sight of my deeds. My captains came to extol my strong arm, my charioteers likewise exalted my name. Hail, O good warrior, firm of heart, you have saved your soldiers, your chariotry. You are Ammon's son, who acts with his arms. You have felled Kadi by your valiant strength. You are the perfect fighter. There's none like you, a king who battles for his army on battle day. You are great-hearted, first in the ranks. You heed not all the lands combined. You are greatly victorious before your army. Before the whole land it is no boast. Protector of Kemet, curber of foreign lands, you have broken the back of Kadi forever. Said his majesty to his infantry, his captains, and his chariotry, what about you, my captains, soldiers, my charioteers, who shirked the fight? Does a man not act to be acclaimed in his town when he returns as one brave before his lord? A name made through combat is truly good. A man is ever respected for valor. Have I not done good to any of you, that you should leave me alone in the midst of battle? You are lucky to be alive at all, you who took the air while I was alone. Did you not know it in your hearts? I am your rampart of iron. What will men say when they hear of it? That you left me alone without a comrade, that no chief charioteer or soldier came to lend me a hand while I was fighting. I crushed 1,000,000 countries by myself on victory in Thebes, mud is content my great horses. It was they whom I found supporting me when I alone fought many lands. They shall henceforth be fed in my presence whenever I reside in my palace. It was they whom I found in the midst of battle, and charioteer Menena, my shield bearer, and my household butlers who were at my side, my witnesses in combat. Behold, I found them. My majesty paused in valor and victory, having felled 100,000s by my strong arm. At dawn I marshaled the ranks for battle. I was ready to fight like an eager bull. I arose against them in the likeness of Mont, equipped with my weapons of victory. I charged their ranks fighting as a falcon pounces. The serpent on my brow felled my foes, cast her fiery breath in my enemies' faces. I was like Ra when he rises at dawn. My rays they burned the rebels' bodies. They called out to one another, beware, take care, don't approach him. Sekhmet the Great is she who is with him. She's with him on his horses. Her hand is with him. Anyone who goes to approach him, fire's breath comes to burn his body. Thereupon they stood at a distance, touching the ground with their hands before me. My majesty overpowered them. I slew them without sparing them. They sprawled before my horses, and lay slain in heaps in their blood. Then the vile chief Akkadi wrote, and worshipped my name like that of Ra, saying, you are Seth, Baal in person. The dread of you is a fire in the land of Kadi. He sent his envoy with a letter in his hand, addressed to the great name of my majesty, greeting the majesty of the palace, Ra-Harakti, the strong bull beloved of Ma'at, the sovereign who protects his army, mighty on account of his strong arm, rampart of his soldiers on the day of battle, king of upper and lower Kemet, Uzamara Septepen-Ra, the son of Ra, the lion lord of strength, Rameses, beloved of Amun, given life forever. Your servant speaks to let it be known that you are the son of Ra who came from his body. He has given you all the lands together. As for the land of Kemet and the land of Kadi, they are your servants under your feet. Ra, your august father, has given them to you. Do not overwhelm us. Lo, your might is great. Your strength is heavy upon the land of Kati. Is it good that you slay your servants, your face savage toward them and without pity? Look, you spent yesterday killing 100,000, and today you came back and left no heirs. Be not hard in your dealings, victorious king. Peace is better than fighting. Give us breath. Then my majesty relented in life and dominion, being like Mont at his moment when his attack is done. My majesty ordered, brought to me all the leaders of my infantry and my chariotry, all my officers assembled together to let them hear the matter about which he had written. My majesty let them hear these words, which the vile chief of Kati had written to me. Then they said with one voice, Very excellent is peace, O sovereign our Lord. There is no blame in peace when you make it. Who could resist you on the day of your wrath? My majesty commanded to hearken to his words, and I moved in peace southward. His majesty returned in peace to Kemet with his infantry and his chariotry, all life, stability, and dominion being with him, and the gods and goddesses protecting his body. He had crushed all lands through fear of him. His majesty's strength had protected his army. All foreign lands gave praise to his fair face. Arrival in peace in Kemet, in Per-Ramesses, Maramun great of victories. Resting in his palace of life and dominion, like Ra in his horizon, the gods of this land hailing him and saying, Welcome our beloved son, King Usermara, Septepen Ra, the son of Ra, Ramesses, beloved of Amun, given life. They granted him millions of jubilees forever on the throne of Ra, all lowlands and all highlands lying prostrate under his feet forever and all time. Hotep, I am done. The Battle of Qadesh took place in the 13th century BC between the
What's up? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Minku?
Hotep. Yes, can hear you.
If you on mute, it's yours or mine. I can hear you. Can you?
Hotep, can you hear me?
Hotep, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, Henu, great brother. Let me get Minku back in the stream. I gotta add him back in.
Tough, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fire, brother. The great storyteller. Yo, fire, man. Fire. Fire. That was good, man. And I'm loving the imagery you putting in there too.
Appreciate that, brother.
Everything moving along, great brother. Was that recorded already? Reading it as the story was going?
Nah, I recorded it.
Oh no, that was good, man. That was good. I was about to say, I don't know how you could keep up reading and then like following along. I didn't even know how you could do that. I was like, man, that's impressive. If he's reading this live while he's doing it, I would say, oh man, that's phenomenal. You did a great job, great brother. Appreciate you, man. That was fire. That's definitely those are like those remind me, like, you can do little small shorts with that. Put it on YouTube shorts and give them little segments and things like that. You already got the artwork to do it. That was fire, man. You're gonna have to teach me how to make some of them arts you building over there, man. I need to come holler at you for a little bit, man. Two up to you, great brother.
Appreciate that. I learned from Ani. I sent so many bad thumbnails, I used to send them back. I got mad. I ain't doing no more. Yeah, I sent them. I sent my best verse, like Minku say. I done put my best verse. Listen now, I don't know how to use the program now. I don't know nothing about Photoshop and Canva and all that. I'm trying my best. I done spit my best verse. I sent it to him. He sent it back. Work on this. Do this. I'm like, oh man. I was like, I said, I ain't gonna send no more. I'm just gonna practice on my own. I'ma just show up. I'm not sending no more. I'm not going. I'm not sending no more.
The namaz is all slanted to the side.
Yeah, I'm not no bad work. Ani, you remember that, Ani?
Yeah, I remember that, and then I remember the thumbnail stopped showing up. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I said, man, you ain't gonna use them anyway. I'm wasting my time. I said, man, I'm not sending no more thumbnails, man. It took me a whole week. I'm trying to learn how to. I'm trying to learn.
They didn't make the refrigerator. You gave it to Ani. They didn't make the refrigerator cut.
Program. Look, I'm trying to learn how to use the program. We in motion already. We already headed there, and I gotta keep up. I'm like, I don't even know how to use the thing. I'm like, I'm trying to make it work. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best work. I'm like, nah, I know this gonna be fire. I put something together and I sent it to him. He sent it back. I like when he's to add to it though. Cause I'll be like, oh yeah, now that's nice. Hey, I like that. Like that's nice. But when none of the elements get used, I'm like, oh, I'm just wasting my time. I really wasn't wasting my time though, right? Cause I never stopped practicing. You know what I mean? I'm always working at it. But I just stopped sending it out. Like when you rapping and then you just go in the lab by yourself. You don't send no more verses. You just write it to yourself, and then just show up. It's like Lil Wayne went from wobbly to who he is now. Yeah, I remember that. It was overnight. You like, wait, what happened? He said he went and he wrote. He said he spit everything he had, all his old stuff, and he just changed it. But I never stopped practicing. He just told me last week, one he said I had to put the background. It was something about make it darker, and I didn't get the message till late because I was so busy working on my presentation. Because I'm still learning how to use the programs, man. Like, so it's elements that I didn't put in this one that I put in the last one. And for this one, I didn't use more than I used. For the last one, I didn't have enough stuff, So I'm learning. It's a process. It's a beautiful process because I'm putting my all into it. So, I hope the people appreciate it because I'm truly learning, and growing, and the stories being able to like experience them this way. Like when you was little and you watch a cartoon. How the story resonates differently when you watching it flash across the screen visually. Even like when you read a book though, cause like I could, my imagination is that way. Like I could just read a book and just go there, but for a lot of people, they have to like see it visually to experience it. But it's two different experiences. I'm not gonna say one is better than the other. But for me, I'm learning the stories as I'm reading, as I'm creating, and then at the same time, I'm creating the visuals for it. You know what I mean? Based on the tools that I have, like that I know how to use anyway, because I'm still learning and I'm using different elements, trying different things, and seeing how it works. So I hope you all appreciate it. I put my all into it. I'm gonna say that. The last presentation, I was drained, completely drained. But it was good because I thought to myself, I was like, well, there was many times where I exhausted myself doing foolishness, So to create something visually that my children can enjoy, that young people can enjoy, as well as us, because we're not familiar with these stories. Like I held up the book, The Art of War. The reason why I have two of them is because one of them is written the way they wrote it, and then the other one is like a new age. You know how they got 50 different types of Bibles? They just write it different in different languages. One is in its original context, right? And then the other one is like a more simplified version of it, you know? So being able to understand the stories and experiencing them through visuals, for me, is helping me. It's helping me a lot. It's helping me understand the stories and retain them, you know, and add my little spin to it. And I'm learning how to use the different technologies and programs that's available to us. So it's a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate your good words, brother. And you know, like I said, I hope everyone likes it. I definitely put my all into it.
Yeah, when you're creating a visual, it definitely takes a lot of energy, a lot of attention to detail, especially when you got it painted in your mind already and kind of how you want it to look. That creativity can be very challenging because it's actually, you're actually using the mind to be able to create something that someone hasn't seen before, and painting that picture painting that picture can be a little challenging. Like I said, when you're creating something, I mean, everything we do in our life we create in general, right? But a lot of the things that when you're creating in the Matrix, for the most part, a lot of the ways that they taught us how to create, it takes minimal effort. It really is more of a copy and paste based off of the culture you've been brought up, or excuse me, no culture. It's just all a bunch of templates, you know what I mean, of life choices by making those same decisions like everyone else has done previously before you, or who you've been raised around. So to me, that's more cookie cutting, right? But when you're sitting in front of something with a blank canvas and you're trying to create something, that's and you have nothing to kind of like run to. You know that we got the Seba'is, we got all our teachers of the PHARAOH, and trying to bring that to life in the way that you're bringing it. Like I said, it does cause a form of creativity to dig deep and really use that and really let your Eve express and let the Ka continue to come forth. So to you, great brother, it was definitely worth it, man. At the end of it all, like I always say, it's how you feel right now. You like, all right, cool. I got another one on the books, and you just keep practicing. And that's the thing, man. Because remember where you started, where it was just a reading, and we just looking at the pages with you. Now look what it is today. So if you didn't go through those first steps, you wouldn't have been where you are right now. So to you, great brother. We're gonna have to talk about that after the class. We're gonna talk about that font you got on there on the background. That's an influence.
Which one, right there?
Yeah, that font, that word font.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. It's I don't know. I added. It was so much I wanted to put in here too. Like I said, there's a lot I didn't use because I don't know if you guys remember, but Saba did a breakdown of this. I want to say it was Stranger that asked the question, but it was somebody that asked a question about this. So I had Saba's class in my mind and how I was going to incorporate elements of that into it, because he broke it down beautifully. And in doing that, I was inspired to add all of the some of the pictures were made up, but some of them were actual artifacts and actual pictures from the story itself. So you know, I tried to find a creative way to incorporate those into the story as I was telling the story. You know, so yeah, I appreciate that, brother. I definitely appreciate them words, brother, because I'm practicing. And shout out to our master teacher, and shout out to the great Ani for pushing us and motivating us to, you know, keep it moving, you know, Hotep. And you too, brother, for inspiring me with your movies too, brother. It was definitely part of it too, you know, being able to, you know, just keep moving it forward, and, you know, not be a biter, but still, you know, incorporate those elements, because that's what we do. We inspire each other, we push each other, we motivate each other, we teach each other, we build each other up. So, Hinu to you, great brother, because you definitely was an influence in my, you know, in my growth. So, peace.
Peace. Hotep, great brother. That was definitely very, very, very nefer. Makaru to you. These battles and these victories are very important for us to know about, to give us, you know, the strength to fight these battles and not abandon our brothers and each other when we're in those battles. So I really like that part of the story when he was like, y'all left me, that ain't cool. And so yeah,
I shouldn't even be alive right now. Y'all lucky to be alive right now.
For real. Yeah, I love how you are putting these together too, and seeing your growth and you using the programs, because I was like, I couldn't tell the difference from the recording and when you actually read. And so in my mind, like, you was reading, I'm like, his cadence is royalty. I was like, I'm gonna start calling him One Take Atef. Like, he don't write nothing down. He go in the booth and spit it, and then he out of there. It was so immaculate. But so you can't, you know, you can't sometimes tell the difference if you're reading it or it's the recording. So that was nefer. And then of course I love the images that you're putting together with the story, because it brings the story more alive, right? That we can kind of see images to go with the story. So that's definitely powerful. And then when you did, I got what I wanted too, because you did the lion effect with the picture of the lion. I was like, oh, now he's styling on us. He really going in. So that was definitely powerful. And this is perfect. This is great how you're putting it together. So when Antu and Ani get a hold of it for the social media to, you know, blast it out and, you know, all over, you know, and then they can just add the magic of the programs they're using to put it out to the world. So it's a very nefer combination that you work in that divine science, you know, with this technology. So Hinu Hotep to you, great brother. That was a powerful story, and I learned a lot about Ramses that I didn't know. And so Saba has touched on him a little bit, but to hear about him and these stories is really powerful. So Hinu Hotep to you, great brother.
To our great brother, I appreciate that, definitely. You know, we started this from day one. You know, we've been here, we growing, you know, together. So it's a beautiful thing to grow with you brothers, and, you know, to put my energy to something that's beneficial, something that's eternal. You know, I look at what I'm doing as, you know, I can't add to eternity. I don't feel like, but to just to do my part, like, you know, to keep what the Natiru gave us, the beautiful gift that they gave us, which was their writings, the scribes, you know, these stories, to keep that, to you know, to find a way to solidify it even more, you know, to push it further even more. It's written in stone. It's eternal. The words are eternal. But to be able to echo it and, repeat it and, be that echo and do my part, because the Natiru exists. It's a fact. And, just I'm honored. I'm honored to do it and to, be finding my way and to support the Netter as I become one. So for me, that's a beautiful thing, because like I said, people do what's important to them. So I could have been using my energy to do something else. I had a couple invites this weekend from different people, that I enjoy spending time with. But this was more important for me to create this. I've been working on it since the last presentation. You know what I mean? So, but this is important to me because this is eternal. The internet it's forever. Where it's at, it's in the air. Where is it? Is it in a White House somewhere? Like, where is it? It's in the air. So to be able to, do my part and assist the Natiru and being here forever, I'm honored and I'm grateful. So, and I'm honored to be with you, great brother, doing it. So, Tuah to you.
Nini up. Tuah.
All right, Hotep, excuse me, Hotep Henu, Makaru. Hold on, let me activate a few things. Henu to you, great brother. Tefrem Kim Ma'at. I love how it ends. Hotep, I'm done. To our great brother. For that and putting that together the way that you do is very nefer, very powerful. And the imagery to go alongside it, what it takes to create that takes a lot of attention and time. So very appreciative for you for doing that and sharpening your sword and improving it. And that's the beautiful thing that Ma'at teaches us, right? I don't know how many people, really know per, ancestral artifact. Scribal school was no joke. It was nothing light at all. So all that took place to create the excellence was rigorous training and correction. And that's what allowed everything to exist the way that it did, at the heights that it did. So to our great brother for being within that training, so you can come forward as par excellence, as you do, great brother. The advancement is such a beautiful thing. It's another thing I love about the teachings of PTAH, where he teaches that there is no pinnacle to art, to creating. There is no peak. There's always Keparah. And I don't know if anybody has ever read Advice to the Youthful Scribe. It's in Miriam Lithium's and it's in ancient Egyptian literature. But it's a very powerful writing to read that helps to keep one focused on doing what you just did, and bringing forward something that is powerful, that you can feel the Marie within it, the attention. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm happy that you weren't discouraged to put it down and leave it alone, but you went and you said, okay, let me go in the lab and, you know, just work on it before I present something. And that's what it's all about. And now, you're, able to create things like this, that if a year ago you may not have even known how to begin. If I pulled this up and I said, hey, create this, you'd be like, so now, it's just such a beautiful thing. These audio books are now visual audio books. And our stories are getting the attention and love that they deserve. So, from one scribe to the next, giving you much love and praise, and Hinu, great brother, for this, and just watching and observing the Keparah from when you first started reading the literature to what it's created, what it's turning into, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So everyone is observing and watching, what takes place within a scribal school. Usually these, all of this would be done behind. No one would see it until a certain level is reached. So everyone is seeing the growth from all of us through the process. So it's a beautiful example to set for those who are watching, to just move, right? To just pick it up and traverse. And it's the greatest thing, one of the greatest things that we can offer to everyone, is seeing the movement take place. And I'm very thankful for you in this story. This writing is very powerful. One, because it's a historical account, and it produced, the great Nutpu asked Saba in the pod class yesterday about Hotep, and I know the source of why you brought that forward. You threw Jesus in there, but we know what you were talking about, great brother. He asked about the Hotep, and this story brought about the very first Hotep treaty, the very first peace treaty. And so what you put in your presentation, you showed it. You showed the artifact, which is in what they call the Akkadian language. So very important to show the historically, right? This is, I always love to point that out, because people get confused between the fake stories that take place, all the Exodus, and there was this war, and they exited out, and there was fighting chariots and splitting of the sea, and this whole illustrious story that is just a fairy tale story. People like to confuse those with the actual factual historical events. And this one right here is very powerful, and I love it because it shows the war, and then a few years afterwards, now they're coming together and creating a Hotep between after all of what just took place to take control of a land that people know as Canaan, take control of a land for each individual empire in the utilization of that land. So it's very powerful, and it brought an example to the planet of being able to do that, right? And we need that today more than ever, with the eradication of each other over nonsense, and someone has to. Both sides have to agree to a peace, to a Hotep, but someone has to initiate it. Someone has to say, you know what? All right, you got the last body. All right, we're not gonna reciprocate that. We're gonna flip that over and bring forward a frequency of Hotep, so that way we don't have to lose anymore through a disagreement of thought. We can figure out a way to work together, and we don't have to remove each other, and we just come to an agreement. And we need that representation today more than ever, so we can put our attention on the real enemies, and not each other. We're not each other's enemies. The real enemies are in the greatest position because they don't have to do anything physical. All they have to do is plant the seed in the mind, and now we're the ones doing it to each other, while they just sit back and reap the benefits from that being done. It's the reason why, these labels get life insurance on these artists, and all of it is a business set up around death, right? Death culture is what this is. So when we attack each other and remove each other, while the true enemy is standing there, just not in the forefront of the war. They're in the back, the ones who are making the plays. Let's fight over this turf or this area right here, and no one, who's the owner of this, who owns this? It's the illusion. So when we as a collective collect and understand and recognize that our enemies are the same, now we can work together and utilize the force and power from everyone who wants to remove the ISFET at the source. So that's one of the reasons why I love this story. And Rameses, leading what he did, and even on the Hittite side, because it wasn't just like it said you you read it. You know, it was recognized as a draw. So I do want to show just one of the, I'll pull this up, one of the great temples of where this story exists. So we can just so we can look at it as you know, it's a beautiful thing to have access to an archaeological artifact within an entire building, right? The whole building itself. Another reason why excellence has to be attained, because it doesn't matter what they find of Kemet, it becomes a museum artifact, regardless of what it is and what it says. You know, anybody can write something right now, and no one's going to, you know, it's not going to be placed in a museum nowhere. So it really just goes to show the height that the culture took itself to where whenever you see something, as if it's got Medu on it, it becomes an artifact within a museum. So yeah, just before I show this Hindu great brother, Tua for this and illustrating it. I just love what's taking place. So Tua Hindu to you, great brother, you know, for creating this.
Any other great brother?
Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, yeah, here we go.
It's always beautiful and powerful. Ani will add on to the build a little something, something. So I'm looking forward to this reveal.
Yes. I just love, this is part of the technology that we have access to that we should learn to utilize so we can keep up with it. Okay. Oh, and to everyone for who's sending in support. Yes, support this. Support what the great brother is doing. Support what the House of ATTON is doing. Because the reciprocation of energy is infinite. For anyone who creates anything and puts all of what it takes to put it into something, to create something and build something, when it's appreciated, it does something very important to the Ebe that the Matrix is wanting us to remove, and that's to Sajim, the hot, to listen in or listen or hearken or receive what the Ebe is wanting to express. So I'm, you know, out to everyone who's supporting this. The links are pinned. All right, let me pull this up. share the screen for everyone so we can just take a little tour. Okay, here we go. This is what they call today Abu Simbel, which is really Ipatsut. And yeah, here's the, you can, hold on, let me get my screen here so it's all on here correct. Oops. Okay, there we go. Let me fix this so the whole thing is here. All right, can everyone see that clearly?
Yes.
Okay, to our great brother. All right, so yes, this is Ipasut, what people know as Abu Simbel, right? Out looking over the Nefer here, the Nefer. And as we turn around, right, we see Rameses here. We see Rameses here, and we can traverse, right? We can travel, right, and take a look. So for those who, yes, being here physically in the flesh, which many of us will do. I know the great brothers here. We definitely have to go here to do firsthand research and get what we need to get here. But until then, you know, we still have access to visit these ancestral sites here, right? Left foot forward. So it's good to just come here and look. See what's carved in these walls, right? Here's Kemet. Here's the word Kemet right here. Right, you see the Kemet, the land symbol, right? The Nepti, the two ladies, Mak Kemet, like what the great Atef Kim put in this reading here, which then of course, Mak Kemet, the protector of Kemet, is Rameses. Usir, here's the Usir. Usir. Ma'at. All right. And then here's the Setep, which I showed this in, again, my opening of the mouth class, the Setep, when Menkuara was speaking about being the chosen ones. And in that class, I was teaching on the Setep, which means to be chosen. So here is the chosen one of Ra. Usir Ma'at Ra. Sa Ra, which means son of Ra, which is his birth name, is Amen, Emin, Mer. Here's Ra, and then Meses. All right. And so very powerful, right? And here's the Smatawi, as you see here, right? The Ebe and the connecting of it, as the great Saba just taught on it in the pod class yesterday, right? The joining of the heavens and the earth, right? The joining of the two lands, right here. I mean, just, we haven't even made it inside yet, but this is what I love to do. It's just to come here and look at it and read and see what it says. So as we enter, right, we see these just look at the architecture, the beauty here. And when we go here to the right, this is where we start to see part of this battle located. right? As you see the many chariots here, right? And the battle taking place. And you see the Medu here of where the story is documented. So, the protection of Ma'at is imperative, right? As we see, which is Ma'at Kemet, right? The protector of Kemet, sitting on the Smatawi here. But this is where you'll find this is attested in many different places. Many different temples, purs, in both the Medu here and also through Hittite sources as well. So not just, you know, here's a source in a book that was attested to 1,000 years later. And so it just, this is the difference between ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, where the entire building is an ancestral artifact, and a large section of it is attested to this story that we just read, right? Which happened in 1275 BCE, the same time when the Per Imheru of Ani was written. So yeah, it's good to go here, right? And you can go into these different sections and, you know, look at what the great ancestors left for us to look at, for us to observe, right? As you see here, right? Got the what they call the mace right here, in the gathering of the Isfet, the organizing of the Isfet. All right, this is an organized Isfet right here. It's beautiful, right? The way we documented this. You see Ra here. As the great Saba Tehuti showed in one of the Medu classes about the Hechet, which is the word for white, which is known as this crown. Let me back up here, right? This section here. And this mace in his hand, right? Striking the Isfet. All right, you see the standard here with the glyph of the Aha. This is Aha, the word for to fight. To fight is connected to the standard, or what's known as the Sarek. That is the oldest form of a Ren, of a name. So this is the oldest. You'll see the Heru on the Sarek, and this is the standard that the per EE, or the Nesubiti's names would go in. So when you look at all the earliest attestations of any Nesu BTs, you'll find this Sarek here. All right, so when you look like for example Unas, right, you see the Shin in the Nefer Aset, where what people know as the pyramid text, but in other artifacts, bowls, you'll see the Serek name here, and this becomes the standard with the AHA symbol, with the Shu feather in his hand, right? Shu here, holding this feather, Ma'at, and while holding another standard here, and you see the head up here, and you see the Ka, and you see the Su plant rising from here, and a tied rope or string around right here. But yes, this is where one of the attestations for this Nefer, very powerful story. So I just wanted to show this just to give everyone another avenue of to utilize within, to make time for certain things, to for when you live this, of what you can do, that is, so when you read the story, right, you can now come look at the stories directly, and travel through these temples like it's, you know, while everyone's running around playing video games, they got their controller, first person shooter, GTA, you know, hey, let's run through here and this is what we're doing. All right, this is my video game right here. Y'all are just watching me play my video game. And I just want to always show this to give people the knowing of what's accessible and what's available to us. So if you looking up certain temples, if you just type in, like for this example, Abu Simbel 3D tour, right? Virtual tour, here Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, virtual tour of Abu Simbel Temple, and right here is the link. All right, you just click that link and it'll take you here, and there's a lot you can do here, right? And there's these orange little pieces right here give you descriptions of what's taking place, and this also holds something that I love, right, with PTAH, Amun, Ramesu, and Ra, right, sitting here with Ramesu here, right? So yeah, I just wanted to show everyone that. So yes, peace and love to for your attention, and just wanted to add on to what this great brother brought forth and presented. So yes, these things exist and we should utilize them to further our studies and help our subconscious feel complete with knowing that this exists. And for those who may not have the ability to travel, right, you can still travel through a virtual experience here. So don't be afraid of the technology. Utilize it, because it's here. It's not going away. It's advancing very fast. So yeah, this is a beautiful thing. So Hotep Henu, great brothers, you here with me?
Yes. That's Hotep. That's the temple. I think twice a year, many people travel to Smai to see when the sun comes up. I think it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. The light shines on those netters in that temple. So people travel and get up super early in the morning twice a year, because the Neteru built those temples in that way, that the light, as Ra is coming up, it would shine on those netters in that temple.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You know, maybe you can give us a class on this, because it's deep. It's deep, the mathematical, architectural, science that went into building these. It's beautiful, right? And I didn't go into any of that science, and that all exists there too. So to our great brother for bringing that forward.
Meaning up, yes. It's astrological architecture.
Yes. Oh, Tef got his movie playing in his Netterverse now. What's going on?
Styling on them.
I need a good producer. I need one of the producers to make you be your best. He's like, you gotta go do another take. Ain't no such thing as one take attempt. Not without me. You got to keep doing. You got to do it over. You got to do it over again. Got to keep doing it till you do it right. I appreciate it though. I appreciate the motivation. You know what they say. It just don't really apply, but just the consistency and practice. But you know, it say that what don't destroy you make you stronger. But it's definitely, I know that that definitely wasn't the intent. The intent is to get better and grow and be stronger. So, you know, I appreciate it, brother. And I'm always in the lab. I'm always practicing, you know. But it's a lot of work. Like he said, it's a lot of work that go into everything that we do. Just coming and learning the new programs that we're using to present, to come here, you know. It's like we're constantly moving forward and growing, which is a beautiful thing. I can't say anything bad about growth. You know, growth is good. Growth is good for you, you know, but it's challenging. You know, at times it can be very challenging and frustrating, because now I actually enjoy putting these together. But the energy is the same. Like I said, the last one, I was completely exhausted. The last 2 or 3, I went up to the wire. The last two presentations ago, I freestyled. Like I had scrapped it like right before it was time to go on, and just used a different program. Like seriously, it's very challenging, but very frustrating. It does take a lot of my energy, but like I said, it's not bad. It's not being tired, and using your energy to push you forward, to motivate you for growth is not a bad thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a good thing. It's what we should all be doing, is working and getting better and better every day, little by little, you know. But it's your race, so you go at your pace, you know. So, but I do enjoy it now. I'm gonna say that I really do enjoy it. Like I said, this presentation, I have way more stuff that I didn't use than the last time. The last time I didn't have enough. At least in my mind, I didn't have enough. This time I got enough to do 2 of the same presentations and use different stuff. Like I truly didn't use everything, but I did finish. I finished it early. Not early, but I finished at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You know, enough time to go outside and ride the bike with my daughter. So that's a beautiful thing. But I was exhausted, but not like I was the first time. So, you know, people use their energy to do different things, and I enjoy this now. Now I enjoy creating and challenging myself and pushing myself, because I am learning. I love learning, and this is just another aspect of learning. And at the same time, I'm also echoing the tones of our ancestors. You know, I'm echoing the tones of the Natiru. So it's a win-win for me. I love it. It's nothing else I'd rather be doing. So Hotep and Hinu, and thanks for that beautiful tour. You always add to my presentations and add to what we're doing here, so I appreciate you, great brother. Definitely go check that out. And that's what I say, where they left so much work for us. They left so much art and so much stuff to be discovered, and it's never ending, man. It's so beautiful. So, two off for that, great brother.
Yes, Nini Ka, great brother. To I hand it to you.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, peace. Excuse me, brothers. Yeah, I caught pieces of it, Ani. Had to do some assisting in the background. Had some family leaving, and everybody needs some assistance. So, excuse me. Definitely back, but I'll definitely rewatch that part when I get a chance. But I know how you come up, how you come through. So I saw pieces of that tour. It was on the TV as I was walking by it. So, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out when I get a chance for sure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So I will post the link for you all to come up on the panel and let's see. I hit the turn on the YouTube. I see laughing emojis flying on the screen. Let me post this link. To see if anyone would like to come up and let the great brother know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts about this attestation of what people recognize as the one of the first documented wars, battles. So yeah, there's the link. Hold on, I don't want to use that link. Don't use that link. Hold on, let me change something here. Use this link here. Okay, there we go. Nookpoo says, I'm on the road right now. We'll jump on when I get to my destination. All right, excellent. So if anyone wants to hit the link, Great Brother Hus Nation usually does. Robert Williams, I would love for you to hit the link, Great Brother, and have you come up here and build with us. I'm trying to delete this old link, but yes, Tua. I'll show the support. I'll get the support prepared to show that. So if you're going to support this class, please go ahead and do so I can prepare it. Yeah, Tua Hinu.
I know there's no excuse that we don't know or we not getting familiar with the stories. It's a DJ out of New York, and one of his little tags was "Get familiar." We got to get familiar with the stories, man, of our ancestors. We got to get familiar with ourselves, you know, because that's really all I'm doing is just, you know, reading about who we are, for real, what our superpowers are, what we're capable of doing, what we can do. You know, people always talk about Africa, but you know, as our great teacher pointed out, it's the consciousness of the people that built that land, called Tamari, Kemet, you know, all these different beautiful words. It was the consciousness of the people. The land didn't build the people. Africa didn't build the people. The people built that land and that culture, those beautiful monuments and left that beautiful. If y'all look at that artwork that Ani showed, and I showed some of them also in my presentation, it still looks like that. It's like, it's still, look at the back of Primordial's background. Like, these are, like, when you take the tour yourself, and I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna give y'all a little jewel. Put on the glasses, take the tour with the they have some of the tours you could do if y'all got the little video game goggles or whatever. When you take them tours, man, and you get up close, there's ways to do it now with YouTube in different ways, but it's almost like you're there. Like, they have like 3D tours where you could actually look at it. It's phenomenal. It is absolutely, it almost looks like it's not real. You look at it and you'll see how it looks, and it's like the paint on in my house ain't as crisp and detailed as that was, you know, so long ago. Like, it just, look at the statues carved out of the mountain. Like this is beautiful, man. Like, you know, but what that's telling us is that it's showing us what we're capable of. The stories are showing us what we're capable of, what we have the power to do. We just have to put our mind to it, our consciousness. This is what I was saying when I was thinking. I'm like, it gotta be something else these people is after. It has to be, it can't just be they wanna lock us all up, or, you know, they wanna kill us all. It gotta be deeper than rap. It has to be deeper than that. So what is it for real? Because y'all know how the energy work. People don't hate up, they hate down, right? People don't hate down, they hate up, right? You know, so what is it that, is it about us that they hating on, or that they're jealous of, or that they don't want to see us, you know, they don't want to see us fulfill our full potential, because they know what our potential is. They see, that's the thing, is some people know who we are. They know what we're capable of. They know what our culture is, you know? And all you gotta do is just look at your life right now. They just took Saba's class down last night, 666. Those of you that was there, they took his class down. Not because he was saying anything wrong, because he was telling the truth. This is how powerful the truth is, not the lie. It's the truth. And he showed you, he was showing you, and that is what they were scared of. They're scared of the truth. They're not scared of the lie. This is why they reverse everything. This is why they trick us and try to keep us hypnotized and keep us in a daze and tell us lies, and they tell us who we are. No, you're Puerto Rican. You're Haitian. You're Jamaican. You're whatever it is. And I'm not being disrespectful to whatever people's culture is, whatever. All I'm saying is that, who told you you was that? Who said that to you? Where did you get that from? Your grandmother, your mother, your father? Where did they get it from? Right? Because your soul don't identify, your ka don't identify with being an African American. It just doesn't. So it doesn't identify with being wherever you think you're from, or whatever land you were, you know, you happen to be born in, right? It doesn't change who you are. Your ka, it doesn't change. Our ancestors did all of that. And what is it about us that they don't want us to know? That's it. You know, when you look at the readings, you look at the stuff, you look at the artwork that's left behind, the writings, what's being said in the writings, you can't deny it. Things begin to make sense. Things begin to make sense why they got us in this cycle of destruction, of hating ourselves, of not knowing who we are for real, of not speaking our true language, of not living our true culture the way we're supposed to be living. We're living their culture. We're celebrating their holidays. We're eating their food. We're living in their structures. We don't own nothing. You know, it's just, it's for me, you know, these are the things that I used to say that, that hip hop rap was I used to say that it was my mother tongue. I used to say slang was my mother tongue, right? Because I knew it wasn't English. And the thing that I knew very well was rap, right? So I used to say that slang and rap was my mother tongue, right? And now, when you look at it, now what's being said in that is pure ignorance. It's not even building. Even that don't work no more for me. So I got to a point where that stopped working for me, right? Because when you break it down, it's still English, you know? So, you ready, Ani? Okay. But yeah, I'm just, just allowing the people to see that the ancestors left something for us, and they're telling us something that nobody else is gonna tell us. And that's what we're truly capable of. And they're showing it to us. They're telling it to us because I read it, and they're showing it to us because they've left behind the evidence. You know, so Hotep Henu.
Yeah, if you want to introduce Hush Nation.
Welcome, great brother, Hush Nation. I was rapping, brother. How you doing?
She absolute. I was appreciating the rapping. You know, you was dropping a lot of jewels in them raps there. You know, so yeah, it's all warrior energy you're sharing up here. So to for that big time, you know, protect to the whole family. Yeah, we back at it again. We got life and strength to keep bashing on the Isfet head, you know. They have the little technology and thing. So they can try to do the little behind the scenes to try to slow down the vibe, but you know that can't work. Yeah, we just here, like you say, why they hating on us, you know what I mean? They know these fiend crushers, you know, and like SCRIIBE say, stick with the team because they don't fight fair, you know. It all come together like the presentation where you were dropping just now with man them sticking together and not falling off and leaving his brother in the battle to get his head lick off by himself. You know, I mean to say is, you see your brother going on, I mean, you started together, might as well end it together, you know, so yeah man, I liking the whole vibe self, the whole warrior presentation. I like the images and things. Even if the makeup, you know, you make them up on your own, there ain't nothing, because they still look dope enough to motivate, man, you know, because we don't see these kind of images. All images we see of warriors is looking like J. Joe, man, you know. So with these kind of images is like new to me, you know, so it really interesting. It make the story even better. I know where you get the images from, but by I mean some powerful images and images by the self giving our vibration. So yeah, I was enjoying that vibe self, man.
Appreciate you, great brother. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate your consistency. And you know, it's Natiru. It's a bunch of us. You know, it's not just one. It's a bunch. So I got a great brother, Primordial. Yeah, so I appreciate you, great brother. And we all over the place. You know, we all have our power, and but we add and we, you know, we come together, and the foundation is Ma'at. So, you know, it's great. You know, you see, they took cyber class down yesterday. You was there. What, for what reason? Just give me one good reason why they took it down. There's no reason. I'm telling you, could tell all the lies you want. They'll keep you on. you tell the truth. You hit a nerve or something. They don't like it. It's the truth is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the truth that they don't like, and the truth is not dangerous to those of us that are seeking the truth, that want Ma'at. You know. It's not dangerous to us, but it's dangerous to upset their manipulation and their exploitation of people. You know, you was there. The class yesterday was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. What, we taking down good work now? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, I mean, it does make sense. If you have understanding, like Saba said in the class, you know, it's you just got to be able to see it, man, and recognize it. So I'm grateful for my teacher. I'm grateful for what he's bringing forth, and what he's creating, and what he's giving the world. You know, not just me, but the world, my children, my family. You brothers here, you know, I'm grateful for Saba, man, and I'm grateful that, you know, that we're all on this path together. You know, we all came from different spots and different places in our life, but we all connected here like this. So, and we're building, just like we're doing what we're supposed to do, what the Natiru taught us. Right, to build, because they were builders, and that's what we're doing, brick by brick, little by little. So welcome, great brother. It's a pleasure to have you here. You know, you family now, so looking forward to seeing you at the Pathways, at the temple. You're gonna see the synchronicity. You're gonna see the vibes. Menku, tell him, Menku.
Yeah, it's gonna be electric, great brother. And I love what you were saying, Atef, because Ani said it in the song too, is we're stars in human form. And Saba was talking about last night about the name Smai Tawi, how Tamari, that land was the land of heaven, bringing heaven and earth together, the above, so above and below. And so we're light, and you know what I mean, and it's a powerful light, it's a conscious light, you know. And so once you see yourself that way, you're unstoppable. And the enemy don't want you to know that you're unstoppable. The enemy wants you to think the total opposite. So when you get multiple people together thinking this way, man, it's just boundless energy. So that's who we are, that's what we're becoming, and we're getting stronger and stronger. And so the The enemy don't want you at your full strength. The enemy wants to keep you as weak as possible. And so here we are, you know, and so we just have to keep being the beams of light that we are. And so when we get together, it's just different, you know. When you bring that kind of consciousness together, it's a force to be reckoned with. So the pathways is going to be a beautiful thing because, you know, just a bunch of lights, you know what I mean, just strengthening each other so we can shine brighter and brighter. So it's definitely going to be a vibe.
Yeah, a couple axes, not big as Nook Nook axes, but yeah, we have a couple axes.
Yes. No, I can't hear you on the YouTube yet. No, not yet.
Not yet.
Can you hear me now? Mic check. Can everyone hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you now, honey.
On YouTube? Okay.
No, not on the YouTube, honey. We can hear you on Ninja.
Antu says I can be heard.
Yeah, Antu said they could hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Everyone put a 9 in the chat. If you can hear me in the chat, put a 9.
9 in the chat. If you can hear me in the chat, put a 9. A 9 in the chat.
Okay, there we
We
go.
can hear you, bro.
Okay, I'm just making sure because Primordial say he couldn't hear me.
Yeah, you good. You good, man. You good, Annie. You
Okay,
good.
Tua. All right. So yes, here we are, Robert Williams, since in 2072, for Who is Inky by Anu. Tua for your teachings. This great brother always supports. Hinu to you, great brother, for supporting all the classes and being here with us and consistently placing your focus in Ma'at and allowing yourself the opportunity to receive, the Heka'u by supporting the way that you do. So, Tua Hinu to you, great brother. All right, and next we have the great Nook Poo, who sent in 3 times for Hotep, or the Sin, Neter, Atef, Akur, Nefer, Ankh, Uja, Seneb, Blue Eye, Ma'at, Blue Eye, Hotep, Karu, Per Aten, Shimsu, Natiru, Makaru, Hotep, Hat, Ma'at, Shu, Dua, Hotep, Hinu, or Inki, Ankh, Uja, Seneb, Hotep, Mary, Blue Eye, Ma'at, Blue Eye. Tua Hinu, great brother. Nook Poo, always supporting, great brother. Always placing your attention and focus in Ma'at as spread this out so we can see all of it. There we go. So to our great brother, and yes, to everyone in the chat for making sure the audio is always clear. So with anything new, it takes a lot of practice and correction. So everyone's assistance is much appreciated in making sure that we always come forth clear. So Tua for that. But yes, Tua Nukpu. Appreciate you greatly, great brother, in bringing forward the 999 to the 9th power, Peshjet, Tua Hinu. Always supporting in the classes. This great brother is always in the Ma'at fundamental classes. Even if he's at work, he's still there. And for telling everyone to come to these classes, which is extremely important for others to hear, other than from myself. So Tua for that, and all the heka'u that you are producing. Much Marie and dua to you, great brother. And next we have the great Keru Aksafet, who sends in 2072 for Hotep Hinu Atef Rim Kim Ma'at Battle of Qadesh. Yeah, this great brother, you already know. To our great brother, Hinu to you. Appreciate you order. So Tua. Looking forward to Pathways, great brother. And next we have Anu and Antu, who sends in $10 for Hotep Marie Tua order send Atef. This is beautiful. Hinu. Very powerful. The great Anu and Antu, as Saba Tehuti has coined them the Tuo. So Dua Hinu for coming forth as you do, and placing Ma'at as a priority and living it, and representing Ma'at and assisting to help build something that represents and stands on her to bring to this planet. So Tua Hinu for all the support that you give in all the ways that you do. Great Anu and Antu. And we have from the great brother Fix, who's on the panel. You can read this if you'd like, great brother. Hotep Fix, are you there? Can't see this.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
To
Are you?
our warrior brother Atef, Remkem Ma'at for the wisdom and vibration. Great is Ma'at and ever at the ready.
Very powerful, great brother. Tua Hinu. Yes, put in the great maxim. Great is Ma'at, never at the ready. Yes, Hinu to you, great brother. And your consistency, always supporting and appreciating what's taking place here. This is the great Maru of the HOA, of the House of ATTON, the supporters, Tua for leading by example. So as we can continue to grow into greater heights, it's you all at the foundation who will be recognized for the works that you're doing and the support that you're giving to us, while others are learning from you and seeing from your example what it means to appreciate. So Tua Hinu to everyone, and let's give everyone a round of applause.
Join us, House of ATTON, ancient Tehutian teachings under Tiru. Back to the source, we the original axemen.
As we traverse through the verse to Ahenu. For that. So yes, appreciate everyone. Henu Tua to all who support the Nefer HOA Aut. Absolutely. Axes flying on the screen. Fill the chat up with axes. Have axes flying everywhere. Let's get the axes flying for the great supporters. Definitely appreciate everyone. Much love and gratitude. Yeah, there we go. I love that. All right. So yes, we can begin to descend and close this thing out. And so, yes, I'll start. Let's see if I can add myself to this screen here. Let's see. I'm in a different little thing here. So let's do this here. Add myself over here. There we go. All right. Tuahinu, Makuru. Let me make sure I'm like everyone else here. All right, here we go. Hotep Henu Makuru. Dua. Peace and love, everyone. Tua for your attention. Without your attention, this does not exist. Tua for the support, being here, learning the stories of our great ancestors, applying the teachings, coming to all of what the HOA is bringing forward. As Karu, it's imperative that we participate in all of that is brought forward. It's a beautiful thing of what is the opportunities that are provided to us now, and being able to understand the what's taking place, right? The great Saba Tehuti, everyone is here because of him, and his ma'at, right? His ma'at, his vision to be able to see and put certain things in place. So much dua, or dua to the great Saba Tehuti for all he's doing and teaching us, showing us how to do research, helping to shape our internal disposition, the Medu word Amma, by giving our attention to him. So it's a powerful thing. So we have a fundamental Ma'at class every Friday. The last, I think for the last week, because the last Friday of the month is the Discord meeting that we'll have it Saturday Uben, Saturday earlier in the day. So all the Karu come to the Medu Ma'at fundamental classes. What the great Seba'it, the great scribes left for us to learn from. Is such powerful guidance that every single person needs. It's why I brought this forward, so we can, as a collective, read the Seba'it as we did in ancient times, as we did in the scribal schools, as we did in the PHARAOH. There was no missing class in Tamaray. If you wanted to, be a representation of that which you're studying. So everyone come to class, come to the Discord meeting. And just tuah for all the support and appreciation. Sakim im arit, marer ka'a, simu hatu natiru pert intetep. I obtain the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead me. I come forth in offering. Dua Hotep. And we'll go to you, Hush Nation, and then Menku Ara, and then Primordial Thought 9, the Saheh. Hotep.
Hotep to the family. It's an honor to be on the platform again. I'm grateful for you to be a part of the whole operation from the Natiru War. We get brought together from Sabah. So definitely grateful for you letting me be aboard the vessel, the operation, so more health, more strength, more prosperity, more wealth to the whole house of ATTON. Everybody was showing reciprocity, big thanks, big tour, big love, big salute, big respect. Hotep Marie.
Peace and love, Hotep Henu. To Master Teacher Saba Tehuti and his Naterts. Peace and love to the ancestors for all they are orchestrating. Peace and love to the brothers on this panel. Peace and love to everyone in the HOA, everyone in the chat. Peace and love to all the newcomers or the first timers that are witnessing the light that we emanate. To you, Atef, for this battle cry. Hinu Hotep, to you for being a warrior. It's bigger than, just being a warrior. We also have to be strategists and how we fight and the way we fight and when we fight. And it's a beautiful thing to learn these lessons and to grow and to be in community. So it's definitely a very special occasion, very powerful culture that we are following. Hinu, for your hard work and dedication putting this together. And yes, it's definitely an honor to be here. And I will end with the adoration to Tehuti. Come to me, Tehuti, O noble ibis. Come to me and give me counsel to make me skillful in your calling. He who masters it is found fit to hold office. Fate and fortune are to be found with you. Hinu Hotep.
Hotep, peace and love. Once again, shout out to the great Atef. I appreciate you, great brother, for the wonderful read, wonderful presentation. Appreciate you, Ani, for putting that extra on there, throwing that extra Ma'at bonus. Definitely, like I said, I'm gonna definitely check that out and replay that tour that was happening. And to everybody here, Hus Nation, it's always good to see you, brother. Yes, sir. And man, cool. You already know, man. Appreciate you, great brother, and all the energy that you bringing. Appreciate everybody in the chat and new the moderator. Shouts out to you, brother. You and them too. Nakpoo, always showing up, bringing them axes. Everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all, all the great supporters, all the love. Just grateful for all that we have. And shouts out to our Saba Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra in the house of ATTON. Just everybody, man, just appreciate all the love, all the consistency. Continue to be an imbuement of the Natiru or PHARAOH. And as always, may Ra grant you and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of Ma'at. And may you all rise and come forth as conscious light, like the divine Ra, who rise and shine forevermore in Ma'at. Hotep Meri.
Tef, you there, great brother?
Hotep. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here, great brother. I stepped away for a minute. Peace and love to everybody in the chat, all the supporters. Peace to you, great brother, First Nation. Peace to you, great brother, Primordial Thought. Keep inspiring and motivating. Keep making the movies. Peace to you, Menkura Mary Ma'at. Peace and love to the great Nakpoo. You ain't make it in time, but don't be texting and driving, brother. You know how it is. Be safe out there, great brother. Peace and love to all the sisters, that participated in the womb circle. Peace to the great sister Nana, the great mate, great teacher Saba. Of course, Henu to our great Saba Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra. And yeah, this was a great reading. Looking forward to Ani putting yesterday's class back up so I could definitely re-examine it. And yeah, we'll end it the same way we began, with our beautiful affirmation. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if it's posted. Yes, it is. All right. From today's reading, the Battle of Qadesh. At dawn, I marshaled the ranks for battle. I was ready to fight like an eager bull. I rose against them in the likeness of Mont, equipped with my weapons of victory. I charged their ranks, fighting as a falcon pounces. The serpent on my brow felled my foes, cast her fiery breath in my enemies' faces. I was like Ra when he rises at dawn. My rays, they burned their rebels' bodies. They called out to one another, beware, take care, don't approach him. Sekhmet the Great is she who is with him. She's with him on his horses. Her hand is with him. Unki and Ma'at, Un-Ns, Nintet Aset and Ma'at, Menhepapet and Ma'at, her in Huqui, per Ikut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Come join us, House of ATTON, Ancient Tehutian Teachings and the Teru. Back to the source, we the original axemen.
I don't play with pseudo.
Yo, let's go.
Shed. Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed. Eating alkaline at this time, fasting rezo shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis, laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.